supported and Tea Party and constitutionally backed and all this, and then going off and voting Republican in name only, they're the worst. They're the scum of the scum, right? They're the criminals. They're the fraudsters, the shucksters, the hucksters. And we talked about Fukushima, global warming. Now, isn't it interesting that the people who insist that carbon dioxide is going to kill the planet are turning a blind eye and actually minimizing the damage caused by the worst disaster in the worst man-made disaster in our human history? And times 10, right? Chernobyl was the worst. This is Chernobyl times 10. Then we talked about Biden calling us all terrorists, right? Department of Homeland Security invoking the word that allows the Department of Homeland Security to treat you like something other than an American citizen with human rights. A terrorist. Once you've been labeled a terrorist, it doesn't matter where the hell you were born. They will predator drone your ass. You understand me? Once they've designated you as a terrorist, it's on. Your lifespan. You are now an endangered person. And they're not going to care that you're an American or not. They didn't care with Jose Pazilla. They didn't care with, what's his name? The dude in Yemen right now, Zawahiri. They don't care about him being born in New Mexico, Las Cruces, New Mexico. They don't care about him dining at the Pentagon weeks after 9/11. They don't care about that. Once they call you a terrorist, putting a missile in your home by means of predator drone is on the table. Joe Biden just called teabaggers, Tea Party members, terrorists. That's your government. Let's talk about your government. 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, when they got this guy, what's his name? Vicente Zambada Niebla, I don't know. Vicente Zambada, top lieutenant of drug kingpin Joaquin Chapo Guzman, was extradited to the United States to face drug trafficking charges in Chicago. U.S. federal agency allegedly allowed a Sinaloa drug cartel to traffic several tons of cocaine into the United States in exchange for information about rival cartels, according to court documents filed in U.S. federal court. The case could prove to be a bombshell on par with the ATF's Operation Fast and Furious, except that instead of U.S. guns being allowed to walk across the border into Mexico, the Sinaloa cartel was allowed to bring drugs into the United States over a 5-year period, documents allege. It's like distinct individual events in the media, right? You got Operation Fast and Furious, where the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is caught giving taxpayer dollars to drug dealers to go into specific specific gun stores where they've arranged with the owner to take your taxpayer money in exchange for weapons to give to these drug dealers, and then allow them to take those weapons back to Mexico and distribute them amongst the people who are engaged in a drug war down in Mexico. That's one way of paying them, isn't it? Now, in exchange for being allowed to do this, those drug dealers then import hundreds, even thousands of tons of cocaine into the United States with the help of the Drug Enforcement Agency, the FBI, and the BATF. And it's not independent, separately related incidents. This is a factory process. This is a shipping chain. This is a merchandise chain, right? Folks, go look at the United Nations World Drug Report. The year before the Taliban took control of Afghanistan, Afghanistan exported 2,300 tons of heroin.